So this week, we did the top 10 swords.
Yeah, we did.
And you had a great idea for something that ended up at number 10, which was the Sword Familiar, who unfortunately doesn't get a name.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Even though he clearly has a personality.
He doesn't need a name.
But the Sword Familiar, which I was familiar with, but never certainly got up to level 99. But you brought in your game and not only seemed to have an extreme affinity for the Sword Familiar, but wouldn't shut up about Symphony of the Night. And I played all of the Castlevania games, with the exception of a couple that some friends played for the Castlevania retrospective, and dearly love Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
And why the heck not talk about Symphony of the Night for a little bit?
Best game ever made. Why not talk about it?
But specifically Metroidvania games. I'm learning more about you, Ian. We also need to discuss the fact that you're an editor.
Yeah. I edit videos.
A video editor. That is your employment at the team at GameTrailers.com.
Yeah.
So, having an editorial voice is something that's a little bit new. So I'm becoming educated in the types of games that you like.
Yeah.
And Metroidvania, just you like. I know Dark Souls. God, geez, I know Dark Souls. We talk about that enough. But we said the words Metroidvania, and you just ran out of your office, started doing backflips.
Yeah. I wake up and I say, "Who's talking about good games?" For once.
Symphony of the Night, best Metroidvania game ever.
I think so. I mean, obviously, Super Metroid is perfect too. But I prefer, because Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the first one that I really played. Like, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, I had a Genesis, so I never played Super Metroid until on my Wii. So I love it, but I also don't have that I'm a starry-eyed 7-year-old or whatever, and I'm playing Castlevania.
Definitely smaller in scope than Symphony. I mean, Symphony's a Symphony's a big game.
Well,
you
that's
can't
the thing.
just hustle through. I mean, you can speed run it.
You
probably,
can speed
I'm
run
sure.
it. Well, I can't really, but that's the thing about Symphony of the Night that's so good. Like, I come back and I play that game probably once every couple of years. Like, I just for this thing, I was like, I'm pretty sure I have a save, and I went in and I had a save at 200% just on my PS3, and I've got it on my Vita. So it's like I'm at no shortage of Symphony of the Night. I just did the Sword Brothers glitch for the countdown for the first time. I don't know, I don't like glitching things sometimes, but I did it for the capture, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So now I've got a big white bar on my. Yeah, I'm all about glitches now. It's my thing now, ever since an hour ago. But no, I love Symphony of the Night. The size of it is amazing, and then the fact my favorite thing about a good game is world consistency, and I think that's why I like Destiny and why I love Dark Souls, is that it doesn't break the game to have game mechanics in them, because it's part of it, And I think Symphony of the Night in a weird way is like that too, but it also has the huge, I really respect developers that have discipline in putting something so huge in a game and then sort of being maybe a lot of people won't find this, and that's fine. We don't care. We're awesome. So the first time you play Symphony of the Night and you don't have the holy glasses or whatever, you just finish and you're like, wow, this ending is kind of depressing and weirdly not satisfying. See you later, Maria. Have fun with your other boyfriend or whatever. You're just kind of and then it's over and you're like, what happened? And then you're like, wait a minute, holy glasses. Oh my God, I've only played half of this game, And that moment when you're a kid or whatever, it still works. It's just
and there are huge bosses that are returning from old Castlevania games that you won't fight.
Most of the real Demon Souls starts here, kind of a thing. And all the best items, you can't even get half of the relics and familiars or familiars. I think you can get all of them in the. There might be some familiars in the inverted, but there are some relics that like the Fire of Bat or whatever, and stuff like that you can't get until the inverted castle, and it's just what? The Crissaegrim and everything.
And you would think, they could pull a Metal Gear Solid 2 where a lot of people could tune out because they're just I'm not Snake, screw this. Or just I'm not even a Belmont in this. I don't have a whip isn't my primary weapon.
Right.
There's a lot of things that could, really throw fans a curveball. It's just doesn't matter. Still the best.
Here's something interesting. Since I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night before playing any of the other Castlevania games at all, I hate the whip. I can't stand the whip. I love... Well, like, one of my favorite things about games like this, like Metroidvania games, is that aspect of, like, upgrading and, like, getting that new thing and, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, to me, Symphony of the Night does that the best. Like, getting that new item and that new sword where you're just like, this is it. This is the thing. And then you find the next one, you're like, what? This is even better. You know? Like, that is amazing to me. And, like, upgrading the whip doesn't do it for me.
Now it's on fire.
Yeah.
Now it shoots those fireballs.
And it's, I don't know, swords just, like, whoosh, it's so much more, like,
yeah, I think it's
satisfying.
I think it's
to me.
iconic more than, like, an actual, like, a fun gameplay thing.
Yeah, yeah.
More fun, definitely, in side-scrolling than it is in 3D in practice.
Yeah, for sure.
But Symphony of the Night's one of those games that kind of reminds me of, like, Starship Troopers or RoboCop, in that I wouldn't consider this good acting or writing or storytelling, but I love it for exactly what it is.
RoboCop is a shockingly cogent social commentary.
RoboCop has some really dramatic moments.
I'd buy that for $1.
When he goes back to his house and the TVs are all there and he's flashing between memories and the future and stuff,
like,
you know, oddly gripping. But Starship Troopers, it just rides that line of, like, every person cast is like, oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah.
You know, they were no one's trying to win an Oscar here.
And it's awesome.
And it's really great. And so I can't tell if the guys were trying real hard.
Well, here,
I mean, it is that great Resident Evil PS1 era of just, you know, there was bad acting
like,
all
we can
around.
put voice acting in a game?
But it's something that the game is, you know, Super Metroid doesn't have that. You know, Super Metroid is very inclusive, is very awesome, still to this day.
Well, in Super Metroid, like, I just watched the Summer Games Done Quick, I guess, with the speedruns of Super Metroid, and, like, realized again, like, well, A, how much they owe to Ridley Scott, but also just, like, there's whole like storylines in the Metroid games that you just see a dude. I can't remember what they're called. The other guys that aren't the space pirates, those, like, guys that are statues and then they come out. I can't remember the name. Someone remember that. But like, they're a whole other thing, and they've got this huge backstory, and then the game doesn't even tell you that.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. And, like, but yes, the writing in Symphony of the Night is not the greatest thing that ever. The What is a Man? A Miserable Pile of Secrets is quoting a French novel or something. So, like, the game isn't, they didn't just pull that gem out of nowhere.
What's that where he's like, you eat people's souls?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a good job of reading it bad. You know, it's like, wow, that is a great bad reading of that. You know, like, it's like, how could I what if I took the inflection and did that?
And just did the whole wrong thing. Like,
what if I just wrote all of the syllables down on a dartboard and just threw, you know, just like, I'll just punch that word for some reason. Yeah.
Well, I did it right. Yeah, that's hard to do. maybe it is, like, intentional. Like, we're gonna pay homage to, well, Bram Stoker's Dracula hadn't come out yet, but, like, that style of, like, these Bela Lugosi, like, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Ed
It makes
Wood.
Keanu Reeves' performance, like, look amazing. You know?
Yeah. Apparently Keanu Reeves went to Francis Ford Coppola and said, "Hey man, I'm not getting this dialect. You can recast my voice after the fact." And Coppola's like, "Well, we'll work on it. Keanu Reeves is apparently a wonderful person. Like, super nice
really
guy.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Like, anyway, but he knew. Like,
I know
Keanu
the
knew.
bastard sleeps.
Yeah.
Carfax Abbott.
It's totally true.
So, Ian, I can imagine people are confused right now. They're like, why are we talking about Symphony of the Night? So, I can expect, now that we're going to be doing more editorial rapports, that this will happen every now and then. We'll do a countdown, and it's like, yeah, we can talk about the countdown, but we just spent a lot of time talking about, it was just funny to look at that list. It's actually right over there behind the cameras,
yes.
You know, that we picked for the top 10 swords, being like, oh, well, we got to talk about this, got to talk about, you know, Keyblades, got to talk about Master Sword.
Drake's Sword didn't make
and
it.
And it just kept going back to, like, got to talk about the Sword Familiar. And got to talk about Symphony. Love it when someone that was employed for GameTrailers.com is like, I'll bring in my game, and brings in a game and, like, something is just totally maxed out. You can clearly tell, like, whoa.
I love this game.
You are, whenever Symphony of the Night comes up into a countdown, you're going to be the man to go to for footage. But
I'll do it.
Thanks for chatting about it. I could go on for hours, but we should shut up.
Yeah.
You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you!